Nityanandam. With all auspicious blessings and grace of my Guru, His Holiness Sri Paramahamsa Nityananda Swamiji, I welcome you all to this video. Today, I would like to share with you all how I overcame my fear of snakes. This is almost like a very long phobia I've been having, and for no reason I've had this fear of snakes right from childhood. It's not just about seeing a live snake. Even if I think I'm going to see one, or even if I see a photo of a snake, I don't have to see a live snake in the television. Even if I see a photo of the snake, I would hyperventilate. I just put it down to unexplainable reasons for the phobia of the snake, and I never had any specific idea also why I'm scared of the snake. And many times Swamiji has been telling that fear is powerlessness. We should look in and complete. We should look in and complete. And somehow I never made a decision to complete with the fear of snake for many years, thinking it is okay. I'm not going to be facing a snake, and it's not something I need to address it on an everyday situation. If I ever come across a snake, maybe at that point of time I can address the situation and address to see why I have a fear of a snake. But then suddenly one day I decided that I should stop having the idea of even a fear inside me, which is a powerlessness. So from the moment I decided to complete with my unexplainable phobia for the snake, I started looking in. Why am I actually afraid of a snake? Did a snake bite me? No. Did I see someone being bitten by a snake? No. Did I even see a snake before I started developing this phobia? I kept rewinding, and went almost up to my childhood and tried to see if I ever saw a snake. I'm not able to remember that I even saw a snake. A hooded snake? Never I've seen a hooded snake. So I have really no reason to explain why I have this really funny phobia about a fear for snakes. And Swamiji always used to say, and still says, that we should not have any powerlessness inside us. So when with that decision, I started looking in, I realized that there was no reason for me to actually have fear for snakes. And whenever, at whatever age I had developed this fear for snake, or this thought that I have a fear for snake, I'm still not able to identify that. What I realize now is that I started, in a way, enjoying the fact that people think I have a fear for a snake, and then it becomes a topic of discussion and all the paraphernalia of a social butterfly. And today I realized that the actual reason I didn't want to complete with the fear of a snake was I thought it was cute to have a fear for a snake. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't match the word cute and the fear of snake. They don't match in the context if you cognize it from a very social perspective. But the way I understood it is what I am sharing. I thought, it was a kind of self-pampering for myself, and where I found others would sympathize or empathize with me. In fact, I had many friends who were afraid of birds, butterflies, roaches, and even hens. Really, I have a friend who's so scared of a butterfly. She would scream the moment she sees a butterfly about a kilometer away and jump and sit on top of a sofa. I have no reasons to explain why she would go and sit on a sofa, but I have seen her do this. So I used to feel, I'm afraid of only a snake, and snake is actually a dangerous animal. From my perception, though I've never been bitten by a snake, and I know there are thousands and thousands of non-poisonous snakes, and I also know the snake only attacks when it has a fear of being attacked. It's more of a self-defense mechanism inside a snake. Despite knowing all these things, I refused to complete with the fear of snake for so many years. But just recently, when I strongly decided, especially after Swamiji keeps saying that you should not have any kind of powerlessness, I took a very strong decision to complete with this fear of snake, and I found that I'm rather silly. in even encouraging, nourishing this thought that I have a fear for a snake. Now, if I see a snake, how friendly will I be to it? I think only upon the situation I would even respond to it, but definitely I know I'm not going to hyperventilate or hyperbole or freeze when I see a snake. And in a way, I'm actually beginning to feel friendly with snakes. So when I finally concluded with this thought process that I'm finally feeling very friendly with snakes, it just clicked to me what Swamiji used to say and still says, that it is not the action, it is the thought that needs to be changed. The moment I decide to change my thought and complete with any small fearlessness also, there is this huge space inside of me that used to be occupied with the fear of a snake, to an extent when there is no light, if I see a rope, I would think, oh, that's a snake. And I would just pause and start imagining, a full story would run into my head, saying, oh, that's a snake, it's going to come alive and I don't know what it's going to do, so I have to be careful. By the time I realize it's actually a rope. So I realized I have all this mental space available to me, and there's a lot more freedom when I realize that I have the power to change the way I think, to change the way I respond. This kind of self-empowerment was possible only for me when I followed to the letter and to the spirit of Swamiji saying, it is not the action that needs to be changed, but the thinking. And this can be changed by a decision. It doesn't need anything greater. It is just your decision to change. Your decision not to be cute to yourself. Your decision not to pamper anything that gives you powerlessness to you. And I realize it is not just about fear of snakes. This decision, this thought process, I can implement it in so many aspects of my life. Be it feeling frustrated at various points of time, or even feeling, oh, I don't have anybody to share, I'm feeling all alone. All that I realize is some kind of a self-pampering, a self-pity that we all pick up from seeing others around us. I'm sure as a child, I never had these thoughts. But when I started seeing others respond and think, oh, this is the way we are supposed to live life, I assumed that was the right way to live life. But after I started applying Swamiji's teachings to these thoughts that were not giving me any kind of a powerful feeling inside me, I realized that these thoughts that I picked up by watching others or learning from others was a wrong way of existence. It is because of these wrong thinkings and the thought trend and picking up the wrong way of life that we see people around us that I feel as a society we are heading towards huge negativity. We all justify with each other or compare each other, saying, oh, she has a fear for butterfly, I'm better, I have a fear for a snake is much more dangerous, what is there in that? So when I'm going to compare myself to even such a silly thing, I would eventually compare myself to everything and everybody, every aspect of life. Comparison is one of the most dangerous thought processes we can ever have, because that we're not going to be satisfied ever. When I'm not going to be satisfied with anything ever, then how am I going to understand what is my true potential, which I can explore, express and explode into? I just want to share these few thought processes I had when I was completing with my fear of a snake. So all of us somewhere are benefited by this, because it is a real experience for me. Even as recently as 10 days ago, if anybody would say the word snake, I would like, oh, a snake? I'm moving out of this space. But now I am feeling very confident. Even if a snake comes right here and stands in front of me, I probably wouldn't run away. So that's a huge step for me. As being friendly towards it, I think we'll just have to see when the snake comes. And Swamiji always told us that Hinduism, the Sanatana Dharma, teaches us about Swadharma. I think that's the biggest gift Swamiji is giving to each one of us. The Swadharma, the feeling of having the power, even experiencing the power to change how we feel, how we react to situations. This kind of a power eventually leads to changing how the life around you is. Only when each of you experience all these, you will understand what Swadharma means in its exact spirit. Swamiji always teaches us Swadharma, and one thing he's always told us is every aspect of life, be it the present or the future, address it from the space of completion, going towards more completion. And he also says that completion is not just a one-time thing, it's a continuous practice, like how you would brush your teeth, how you would shower every day. Completion is an everyday process. This helps us to experience the Swadharma, being in the space of powerfulness all the time. I do hope this video helps each one of you all complete with this unknown phobias, the unknown fears, the unexplainable thought processes that we tend to ruminate over, as much as I've enjoyed sharing how I overcame the fear of snakes with all of you all. Hope to see you again. Thank you. Nityananda.
All the time be powerful is the religion of Hindus. Always be powerful is the tradition of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. It is, please understand, all you need to do is understand very clearly. You neither need to accept nor need to resist, because any stand you take, you are gone, you become powerless now. Sit and see, how did you make this circuit? The fellows who have taken sannyas out of powerlessness are failures. The fellows who have not taken sannyas out of powerlessness, out of resistance, failures. You neither need to take nor need to avoid, just see, look into when did you develop this fear? Who put that fear in you? When you started developing this fear, complete with it and relax and be powerful, that's all. All the time be powerful is the religion of Hindus. Always be powerful is the tradition of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. It is neither giving you the instruction to get married or not to get married, or get married how many number of times you. Sanatana Dharma is neither suppression nor licentiousness. It teaches you